This Cumberland Island adventure was sparked by our desire to want to do a little more backpacking. We're getting ready to hike Catalina Island, which is off the coast of California. So we thought, hey, let's do the island here in Georgia. So Cumberland Island is what we decided to do. And come on, everybody wants to backpack in a tropical, beachy, picture perfect location. And that's what Cumberland was. Picture perfect. We headed off on this adventure at the beginning of February, which proved to be a great time of year. We arrived at St. Mary's about an hour before the ferry ride. We found us a parking place, loaded up our packs, and headed off to the visitor center. Now make sure when you get there, you check in, go to the bathroom, and attend the ranger talk. There's several ways to experience Cumberland Island. One, there is a Land and Legacy tour. This is the only motorized tour on the island. It costs $45 and takes about 5 to 6 hours, but you get to see the whole island in the comfort of an air-conditioned van. Another way is you can rent bikes. We were told you could rent bikes in St. Mary's, bring them on the ferry, and bike the island. And then the way we decided to do it, which we loved, was hiking and backpacking. And this video, we're going to share our 2-night experience with you. And we hope that something in here might spark adventure in your life. No matter how you decide to experience Cumberland Island, you'll need to book a ferry ticket. Now, it's a 45-minute ride over to Cumberland Island on the ferry, and it cost us about $35 per person. It's a nice 45-minute ride. We got to see dolphins. Super, super fun just watching them play there. Now, once you're on the island, you'll want to check in here at the ranger station. If you choose to camp on the island, make sure you print out your camping reservations and bring those with you. Now here we are setting out on the trail here from Sea Camp Dock. We do take the parallel trail and it runs along the main road, but it goes all the way out to Brick Hill Bluff. There's several campgrounds here on Cumberland Island. The first one and the one closest to the ferry, it's about a half a mile from the ferry, is called Sea Camp. It is only about $22 to camp there. We did that our second night. You'll get to see pictures of that. There's one called Stafford. It's 3.5 miles and costs $12. Hickory Hill is 5.5 miles and is $9. Yankee Paradise is 7.5 miles and costs $9. And then Brick Hill Bluff, which is the one we stayed at for the first night, it was about 10.5 miles and costs $9.
Hey, so we're here on the island. We decided to have a snack. I don't know if you can see right behind us. Point to the horse, John.
It's behind the tree.
Behind the tree right there. We decided to have a snack and watch him right there. It is a boy. I saw it.
I guess you don't say boy, he's a stallion.
Excuse me, he's a stallion. A stud like you, babe. So we're going to get our snack. This is 5 miles. We've made it 5 miles. So we got 5 more miles and then we're at our destination. Yay!
I absolutely love the wildlife here on Cumberland. Just walking, hiking, and then seeing the horses was super cool. Armadillos were neat. We saw turkeys. And then, of course, the plant life was just really cool as well. Now, everything is well labeled. There's lots of signs all over the place, so I don't think you can get lost. Hiking Cumberland Island was super cool. It was like in a tropical paradise, like an Amazon forest. The trees were just beautiful and they made these formations, which was super cool in itself. Here, a horse got right in our way and we kind of had to shoo it away because we were on a timetable. We needed to get to Brick Hill Bluff, our campsite. He ended up moving and letting us pass. So the parallel trail keeps going until it hits the main road, and I forget about what mileage that's at, and then you do the road walking. Well, that road can get long and boring, and every time you see a sign, I was ready to see our sign.
I saw the sign, and it made me very happy. I saw the sign. Please be Brick Hill Bluff. Please. What the crap? What? Just not even.
was very disappointed at 10 miles that was not the Brick Hill Bluff sign. Got back out on the road, kept walking, and here you'll see in just a minute, we finally find Brick Hill Bluff. Now, my watch said like 11 and something miles. Johnny said about 10 and a half. But when you've walked all day and you see 10 miles, you're ready for that campsite. We made it and we survived just to find the most gorgeous view. Look at this view. You just can't go anywhere else and camp like we did here at this campground, Brick Hill Bluff. We absolutely loved it. The sun is going to set and it's going to be gorgeous. After our 10.5 mile walk, we were ready to relax, but we had to set up camp, which was fun. They do have water, but it's non-potable water, so you got it out of this old-timey little spigot. You had to pump it. We felt like we were like out in like the dark ages, pumping our own water. And then, of course, you boiled it to use it to make coffee. Gotta have some coffee. And then here in a little bit, you'll see we also hung our food after we had dinner, hung it up in the tree. After a beautiful sunset, we went to bed and listened to the dolphins play around in the water. We had a great night's rest. We woke up refreshed and ready for our 11-mile hike back down to Sea Camp. Before we headed out, we got a chance to meet some of the other campers at Brick Hill Bluff. This is Bobsy and Lyndon, and they have their own YouTube channel called First Hand Explore. We are all packed up and ready for this hike back down the island. 10 and a half, maybe 11 miles. My watch is probably going to say 12 miles, but after a while, we make it to Sea Camp. Now, Sea Camp is the closest campground to the dock. And you can purchase firewood from the ferry, and then they also have these little carts here that you can haul your stuff from the ferry over to your campsite. Now, Sea Camp's campsites were way different than Brick Hill Bluff. They are very secluded in like a little tropical forest area. We had campsite number 9 at Sea Camp, and I found this bird cage to be interesting. So when I asked the ranger why we had a bird cage on our campsite, she said that was the original bear box, but raccoons figured out how to get in it, so they had to replace it with metal bear boxes. We dropped our stuff here at Sea Camp and headed down to Dungeness ruins. Now, the ruins are a really cool thing to see here on Cumberland. Now, the Dungeness ruins were about 2, maybe a little over 2 miles from Sea Camp. Of course, we had just dropped our packs and took this nice stroll. So it was a nice, easy stroll for us. And we were excited to see some historical things. Now, these ruins are left over from the rich Carnegies. They owned the island and then built this huge, massive mansion here, and then it ended up burning down, and then somehow the National Park Service now has it. But it's super cool to see. A lot of interesting detail. If you like photography and architecture, this is a paradise to walk around and just look at. I enjoyed standing here and just gazing out at this massive backyard that they would have probably had parties and social events in their big fancy dresses, and imagine what it would be like. We can all dream about being rich, but the Carnegies actually got to be rich. How lucky are they? Now, like I said, the architecture here on this place was just amazing. This pergola intrigued me, so I just kind of walked through it really fast and did a video. Really, really loved it. Now, from here, we walk down toward the beach. We find like a little service road down beside the ruins here, and we hike over to the beach. And then we had about a 2.5 mile walk from the beach back up to our campsite. Now, we end up finding horses here in the sand dunes, which is super cool. And then we actually had to walk on a little boardwalk. I guess this kind of went over the marshy area over to the beach, which was fabulous. And then here comes these beautiful horses. Now, we had been told these horses looked terrible. They were sick looking, but that wasn't our experience. All the horses we saw, I felt like looked pretty good. They looked healthier than some of the horses we've seen on other islands. And then, of course, look at this beach. Oh my gosh, guys. It went on for miles and there wasn't a single soul on it. Well, we ended up finding some horses that were enjoying the sand dunes, laying in the sand dunes. But this beach is just beautiful. Long Beach. We want to come back sometime when we can stay longer and enjoy the beach itself. Johnny and I love being in nature. We love observing the wild when it's not dangerous. And standing here watching these amazing horses were just beyond, I can't even tell you how fabulous it was. I wish we could have stood there for all day and watched them, but it started raining, so we had to get back. But yeah, this is just so beautiful. Look at the little baby horse trying to get up. Isn't he adorable? He, she. It's so fabulous.
We gotta go. It's raining. I know, I see it. We have to go. It's raining. I left our tent on our table.
I want to go back. I really want to go back when I can just sit on the beach for hours, soak up the sunshine and the fresh, salty air, and then watch these magnificent creatures.
Okay, so here we are at Sea Camp. We have, our brain's not working. We're super exhausted. I think we did 14 miles today.
11 and 4, 15 miles today.
15 miles today. 10 of which, 10.5 with the backpack. And then the others were just with no backpacks. And we are sitting down to dinner. We're having chili mac and something. Chili mac and beef.
With extra chicken added to it.
It's extra chicken. Got us a campfire going. It is slightly raining on us right now. Just a little sprinkle. But it's doable. We're making it. We took a 2-mile walk on the beach a little while ago and saw the horses just laying in the sand dunes. It was so pretty. But then it started raining, so we had to rush back here to put the tent up because at the time the tent was just sitting out here. Should have learned my lesson from the girls' video that it rained on.
After a little dessert, we headed off into our tent where it rained on us most of the night, but we stayed dry.
So today is our last day here on the island, and last night it rained. Our tent did good. We woke up nice and dry, so that's a good thing. We're gonna Johnny's making us some coffee this morning, and we're here at Sea Camp, and we're fixing to take it over. We can walk right over to the beach and have us some coffee on the beach. I need a shirt that says "Camp Hair Don't Care," because that's the kind of hair I have. Oh look, I think that's cute. We thank goodness for our bear box last night. Well, I guess we don't really have a bear box because there's not bears on Catalina. Fox box. It should be a fox box or a possum. We actually saw a possum last night before we went to bed. But yeah, it's maybe sprinkling this morning, or it may be just the rain coming off the trees, but we are all dry. We're gonna let the tent dry out. We have to be back on the ferry or be back over at the Sea Camp dock at 10. So we've got a couple of hours, so we're just gonna walk out the soreness of the last 2-day hikes, because that's important. You must keep moving. Okay, here we are about to get on the ferry. It's our very last little bit of Cumberland Island. It did rain last night, and so the ferry is here. Everybody is unloading, and then we're all gonna load up. So it was a good time. Did you have a good time?
It was
a super
Brick Hill Campground was unbelievable. Last night in the rain wasn't as much fun, but that's part of camping.
We managed. We stayed dry.
And that's a wrap of our weekend on Cumberland, our experience. Now I wanted to give you some tips and tricks and things that we learned on this adventure to help you plan yours. Number one, book early. The spring we hear gets booked up. We really wanted Brick Hill Bluff and we almost didn't get it. Luckily, there was a last minute cancellation and we were able to book that. Again, we took the February trip. We were told the summer months could be terrible with bugs. We didn't find that to be too true. Now at Brick Hill Bluff, if you stood still or sat for too long, the little gnat bugs would get in your eyes and around your face. But as long as you were moving, walking around doing stuff, it wasn't too bad. And I wished I had known to bring like a little paper fan, just to fan yourself while you're sitting, and the bugs wouldn't have bothered you. Now at Sea Camp, we didn't have any problems with bugs. We sat there and it was a little more tropical area. I thought it would have more bugs, but it did not in our experience. We also suggest that you plan more time than 2 days. We had planned to go hike down to the First African Church, and we just ran out of time and didn't have enough time to get it in. So we do want to come back. Next time, we're thinking about bringing the bikes back, and that way we can bike all the way down to the First African Church. That is at the north side of the island beyond Brick Hill Bluff, and we just didn't think we could hike that on the same day we got to Brick Hill, which we enjoyed the sunset. This was Johnny and I's first multi-day hiking and backpacking trip, and if we can do it, just about anyone can do it. Of course, we have lots more to learn. We hope you travel along with us and learn with us, and maybe this will spark adventure in you.